exciting sounds of the most precision-built cars in the world, hurtling at fantastic speeds. The sport of racing, still in its comparative infancy, yet mushrooming in its growth, and soon to be America's leading spectator sport. Cars like the Henry J, known on the tracks as the Jumpin J, the 51 Anglia, the Thames panel truck, have long since passed from the street scene. But today, consistently take honors at the drag strip, a big part of today's racing scene.
Pretty long line of cars going to the drags today, George. But we'll be in the parking lot in a minute or two. Glad you could make it.
Well, I'm glad you asked me, Rick, but when you came over to my office to invite me, I did have some doubts. I just couldn't imagine what was so fascinating about running a horde of clunkers down a track.
Clunkers? You see those cars over there?
Oh, yeah, they're really beautiful. The paint jobs they've got. Are those the ones racing today?
No, those are the customized cars. They belong to the guys who really carry over their interest in racing to their own street models.
Well, if that's any indication.
See, now you're getting with it. George, get set for a mind-blowing afternoon. 2, please. Come on, let's get parked. And I'll show you some of the fanciest cars that you ever imagined existed. Think those gases are loud? Now wait till you see them run the real funny cars. Let's go over to the starting area and watch them come off the line. Here we are.
Attention, Class A drivers. You have 15 minutes to qualify. Attention, Class A drivers.
Hey, George.
15 minutes
you see those
to
lights?
qualify.
That's called the Christmas tree. Now, you see the 2 small lights at the top? They're the pre-stage and the staging lights. Now, in order for a car to be ready for a run, he's got to place his front wheels exactly to break an electric eye beam. Now, when those top lights go on, then the timing crew up there in the control tower flips the timing sequence and there. Now, you see the yellow lights are starting down the pole. Did you see that, George? The cars take off on the green light.
Hey, how come the one on our side of the track got a red light instead of green?
Yeah, well, that means he jumped the starting signal, and his run is red lighted for following. Now, watch the stock Chevy. There goes the Christmas tree.
Hey, what are those arrow lights down the track?
Well, it shows which car won. Now, actually, the cars are being timed 2 ways. For highest speed attained and for elapsed time.
Elapsed time?
Time on spectator side, 14 flat. With a speed of 95.6.
Yeah, that's the total time that it took him to travel 1,320 feet or quarter mile between the starting light and a light beam exactly at the finish line. Now, this is called the ET. Now, there's also a separate circuit located at the end of the strip with 2 light beams. One 66 feet before the finish line and one 66 feet after the finish. These beams record the average speed at the end of the run.
Oh, I get it. It's sort of like a police radar unit used on the highway.
I guess so. Except I don't think they record the kind of speeds we get here. 114 seconds is slow for some of the runs you're going to see.
Slow? 65 on a crowded freeway is pretty fast, especially with all the idiots I see on the road every day.
Well, there's no place in the drag strip for that kind of driving. The guys competing here are probably some of the world's safest drivers.
Hey, Rick! Rick! Hey! Over here!
Hey! That's a friend of mine. Hey, we'll be right over, Gary. That's Gary Heater. Now, he's on a pit crew here. Come on, George. Let's go over to the pit area and see how they set up the cars. Hiya, Gary. You know, I thought you might be here today. Oh, this is a friend of mine, George Feifel, a guy I work with. I am introducing him to the world of drag racing. By the way, where is that beast of yours?
It's over there behind the Henry J. Come on, I'll give you the tour.
You think you'll make it to the starting line?
Well, if we're real careful and don't drive it over 30, we just may make it.
Hey, George, wait till you see the fine set of wheels that Gary works in.
That's our funny car over there. What do you think of it?
You mean that car over there with the whole body tilted up? Or the long, skinny one next to it?
It's the Mustang with the raised body. The rail belongs to a friend of mine.
Rail? Funny car? Well, they both look kind of odd to me.
Actually, the body's made out of fiberglass. It only appears to be a stock Mustang.
This car can turn up about 190 or so, right, Gary?
That's right. Excuse me, fellas, I gotta get busy.
Why, you must have several $1,000s tied up in that machine.
That's an understatement. That engine alone cost him over $10,000 by the time he finished modifying it. George, this isn't a cheap sport. Come on, let's walk down to the finish line and watch the rails and funny cars pop their chutes.
Chutes? You mean parachutes on cars?
Yeah, drag chutes. You know, when those cars hit the end of the strip at 180 to 200 miles per, it takes more than their brakes to slow them down safely. So, they use the same kind of drag chutes that are used on jet aircraft today.
Man, that rail passed us like he'd been shot out of a cannon.
You know, George, you almost sound like you know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm learning fast, and I've changed my mind about drag racing. It's a blast.
George, I think there's hope for you yet.
Hey, come on. Let's see the races from another spot on the track.
Okay, sport. Oh, hey, do you see that Ford Anglia over there? Now, last Sunday, he turned over 180 in low 80s.
The whine of the engines, men and machines poised for a moment to unleash the seemingly limitless reservoir of raw power. A green light. Go. Green. Go. Go. A screeching of tires, the smell of rubber, wheels turning at unbelievable speeds, acceleration straight down the track. The cycle repeats long into the afternoon. The cars now silhouetted against the backdrop of a searing crimson sky. Your whole nervous system jangling with excitement. This is drag racing. Be part of it. Make it a point to go out to a drag strip and witness the spectacle and thrills in person.